Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our session today, Phindamentals Academic Resources. We have a variety of different panelists joining us from all across Jacksonville University to share what are some resources available to you as a student as you navigate this new world of your college academics. So I will have each panelist introduce themselves and a little bit about their offices, and then we will jump into some Q&A. During this time, you will be on mute. However, please go ahead and type your questions into the chat, and I will make sure that our panelists get to your questions today. So with that, let's jump on in.
Helps if I unmute. Hi, everyone. My name is Marissa Loon Bastian. I'm the Associate Director of Academic Support here at JU. That is a fancy way of saying I'm in charge of the tutoring program. Our tutoring program here at JU is all peer-based, so it's all JU students helping other JU students. It's a really wonderful experience for both the tutor and the student who's looking for some, even if it's just some support, making sure you got something right. We'd recommend, come in for tutoring as often and as early as you would like, and we recommend that earlier rather than later is always better. We're in the library, so you'll hear from someone else from the library shortly, but we're on the third floor, the top floor of the library. Again, we're going to have virtual and in-person, lots of options for everybody for this year. It's a special year, so we're going to make sure that we're accommodating everybody as best we can. So some of our normal options like review sessions or workshops may be online things as opposed to offerings we would usually have in person. But we're going to do the best we can to make sure that you are as supported as you can possibly be this year.
Thank you, Marissa. I'm Dr. Sue Arablo, and I'm the Executive Director of the Academic Advising Center. Some of you students may have already had an opportunity to meet with your advisor, and some may be waiting to do so. But one of the things that I wanted to make sure that you're aware of is that academic advising goes far beyond developing a schedule. Yes, we help you with that, especially your first semester, but we want to give you the tools and information that you need to make informed decisions. We also want to partner with you as you go through your program to be able to help you with decision-making, problem solving, navigating the institution. You can see our mission here, but we approach it in what we call a comprehensive developmental manner. And that means we want to know you, and we want to know what's happening with you, not just within the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well. Now, the Academic Advising Center is located in the Howard Administration Building on the first floor, and we will be open for business during the fall semester, but we are going to be conducting many of our advising sessions online as well. So currently we have opportunities for video like this, and I strongly recommend that. That way you get to see who you're working with. You also get to share your screen and navigate resources together, so I highly recommend that. We also do have phone advising available. And as I said, we're also working on our plan for the fall about coming in face-to-face into our office. We want to make sure that you are safe and healthy, so more to come on that. One of the greatest resources we have is our website, and you'll see that at the end. This is our team. You'll be assigned an advisor based on your major. So as you go to our website, it'll say, who's my advisor? You can quickly see who it is based on your major. So we look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olga Flores. I just want to make sure that the camera is on. I'm sorry for that. My name is Olga Flores. I am the Director of the Disability Support Services Office here at Jackson University. And our main goal or mission is to make sure that students with any disability and or a medical condition are able to succeed just like any other student, while we work hand in hand to remove any barriers that may cause you for classes. By that, we provide reasonable accommodations for classroom and if when needed for housing as well, and or any mobility assistance when we can. We're located in the Debbie Student Commons, so just so you know, once you're on campus, you'll never forget about it. I am in the same building as Chick-fil-A is at, so on the third floor, just above it. And then here in the sorry, I'm getting that I'm not being seen, but I have it on to be seen. So I apologize for that.
Olga, your camera is flipped, so we see not.
Oh, a box. I am sorry.
Now we see you.
I apologize for that. I was trying to make sure that it was working and I clearly flipped it. So yes, if you need any information or you can contact me. My contact information is there. You can contact us through our email. At this point, that is the best way to go. It's via email. We also have our website up there. You can visit it. It has every guideline, every form, and the majority of questions you may have are answered in the FAQ. So if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
And hello, everyone. My name is Nancy Tucker, and I am one of the librarians at the library. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the library. The library is located basically in the center of campus. So wherever you are on campus, you're near the library. Our hours, we're open 90 hours a week. So we're open Monday through Thursday till 11 o'clock at night. So we have extended hours Monday through Thursday. And then we're also open on the weekends. So if you're needing a quiet place to study on the weekends, stop by the library and we are available. Let's see, we also offer a book a librarian service. So if you need help with your research, all you have to do is go to our library website and click on Book a Librarian, and we will be glad to help you with your research. So especially if you're taking an English class this semester, so English 101, English 103, or a history class like History 150, you'll probably be doing a research paper. So definitely remember the library and that we're available to help you with your research. And that, I'll just turn it back over to Ami.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. So I have their contact information here, and we're going to start that Q&A. So we had a couple questions that was pre-submitted to us about, can you talk to us a little bit, how much on average do you think students typically are spending on homework?
I will chime in, I guess. We didn't discuss who was going to answer what. I think that it depends on the class and it depends on a student's level of comfort and confidence in that class. I think what we say usually is that the average you should spend is for every 1 hour in class, you should be working on that class for 3 hours. And that doesn't mean studying like rereading your textbook or whatnot. It means actively engaged with work for the class, whether that's reading for the next class, reviewing your notes, doing some research, working on an assignment, whatever that might be. So engaging in each class, but for every 1 hour in class, 3 hours outside is the sort of general rule of thumb. However, I think some classes are going to need more than that. Some classes are going to need less than that. So I don't know that there's a requirement or a right or wrong. You'll know when you're in class and if you feel like you got a good handle on what's going on. And I think that if you don't feel like you do, then you should go to any one of the people whose faces are on your screen right now, and reach out for those resources that can help you feel better about class, or just spend more time on it. One of those.
Awesome. That's a great guide and a good place to get started.
And I can chime in with the research side of it. I definitely agree with everything that Marissa said as far as much time that it's going to take you to work on your homework, because it really depends on the class. But as far as the research side of it, I would definitely say start early. Also, it's a good idea to, if you think you know what you want to write about, a lot of times the professor will let you write about whatever you'd like. But sometimes that can be a little scary for students, not really knowing exactly what to write about. So definitely reach out to the librarians and we'll be glad to help you. And then also, sometimes it's a good idea to just try a sample search in the databases to see what research is available on your topic before you commit to a topic, because sometimes you're going to find a lot of research and you may need to narrow your topic, or maybe you're not finding anything at all and you don't want to stress yourself out if there's not any research available on your topic. So definitely reach out and we'll be glad to help you with the research side of things.
That's some great advice.
If I may, Ami, in terms of academic planning, when you first develop your schedule, it's kind of a shock when you come from high school to college and you look at your schedule and it looks like there's all this free time. And a lot of you may be very excited about that. Look at that, I've got all day off on Thursday afternoon. This is where you're going to budget that study time. And like Marissa said, it's going to be anywhere 2 to 3 hours per credit that you're enrolled in. So if you're enrolled in 15 credits, think about 30 to 45 hours of study time. Where are you going to put that? So look at your schedules, look at that block, print it out, and start to fill in the blanks for where you're actually going to squeeze that time in. Then you're going to feel, okay, now I'm in college. Maybe this isn't going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. Just plan ahead.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So next question, maybe a student knows what they want to study in college, but they don't necessarily know where to start or how that might be applicable to what comes next. Sue, could you talk a little bit about maybe some of our students who are undecided and need a little bit more support?
Sure. What we find is that no matter who you are, if you're deciding still or you think you know for sure what you want to do, things change, and that's okay. We expect you to have flexibility your first semester, your first year. Meet with your academic advisor at least once a semester, please, and explain that to them. For instance, if you meet with Travis because you're a biology major, but you're not quite sure, if you don't tell him, he's going to assume your biology and just go full force with those courses that you're going to take. And maybe you want to go to medical school down the line. But all you have to say to Travis is, you know, I'm not quite sure if I want biology. I'm also thinking of psychology. I'm interested in that as well. What would happen if I changed my mind? So what we do is we help you look at the academic options. We try to help you if you're not decided yet, you're not sure. We're going to help you choose what we call core courses or general education. And those courses will apply to all our degrees. So we'll help you do that. All you have to do is ask. There's no judgment there. Believe me, it's very, very typical that students change their majors at least once, so that's okay. So just communicate with your advisor, and also we do have a career resource center that we can refer you to, and they can help you start looking at what these different options are. And finally, another real good resource is your faculty. Depending on what program you're in, you'll be assigned what we call we're going to be your major advisor, but a general advisor will be a faculty member. And what better way to learn about programs than talking to faculty who are working in the fields that you're interested in. So that's another good way, but we'll go through all of that with you when we meet with you.
Awesome, thank you so much. Now this is a question we get a lot for Olga. Say a student has a 504 or IEP when they were in high school, do they still get those services when they come here to college?
Thank you, Ami. Yes, definitely they do. The documentation that we request is a little bit different, and that is explained through our guidelines on our website. But that's a good place to start. If you do have an IEP and you have all the documentation for the IEP, or you have a 504, please communicate that with me, and I will tell you what documentation you need to provide, and or if you want to just send it to me, then I'll review it and make sure that what we have is what we need. And if we don't, then I'll communicate that back to you, and then we can figure out what the best way to get the documentation would be. Considering the CDC guidelines right now, we're requesting for everything to be sent via email, but if for whatever reason your medical provider or your school wants to send it via mail, then we can figure something out, because that has already been brought up. So just so you know, all you need to do is contact me and just connect and make sure that I know that that's what you need, and we will take it from there.
Awesome, thank you so much. So one of the questions that I saw in the chat that I just want to make sure that we address was about the book bundle. And there have been a lot of questions about the book bundle. So I would highly recommend for those interested in learning more about the book bundle services, come to our financial literacy session on July 21st at 6 p.m. and we'll make sure you get all of the answers, or visit your Blackboard course and there will be information about the book bundle in there. So happy to chat about that. So any other questions, feel free to type them in the chat. And while we think of any last minute questions, can I have each of our panelists give your top piece of advice that you would give to first year students when arriving on campus and preparing for this academic adventure?
I'll take it. I think that it's very important to be aware and understand your weaknesses as a student, because that will help you plan around what you need to do to be better, and or to help yourself, as well as it's a transition. It takes time. It is hard, and it's hard for absolutely everyone. You will not be the only one feeling these feelings. So just understand that, you know, there are resources out there for you. All you need to do is reach out and ask for them.
Yes, Olga, that's great advice, and I definitely mirror that. One of the things we find is that freshmen tend to be real quiet. And you're coming from a place in high school where you may have been at the top of your game and you knew everybody and you knew all the policies and procedures. And now you're resetting, you're starting at zero again in terms of your understanding of where to go, what to do, who does what for you. So that's okay. Please understand that. And it's okay to ask questions. You should have questions. So when I'm meeting with you in my office, if I ask you a question, please feel free to share your concerns, your questions, your hesitation, your excitement, all of that, because otherwise we won't be able to get to know fully about where you're coming from and what it is you're trying to achieve. So please don't hesitate to ask questions. You're not going to sound stupid. As Olga said, you're all in the same boat. We all have gone through it ourselves. So just use your resources. And of course, I'm biased. Definitely use your advisor.
And I would also add stay organized, because you're going to have a lot of assignments. There's going to be a lot of due dates, and sometimes that can be a little overwhelming. So try to think of what way works best for you as far as organizing. Do you use your calendar app? There's lots of other apps available online. For me, I just like to print out the calendar for the month and just write in my due date. So when are my assignments due? That way I don't forget anything. And it's very important to always turn those assignments in early and just to be organized and stay on top of all of that. So I just wanted to add that.
I think I would echo a lot of what Olga said. You know, it's a new time for you. Give yourself a little bit of grace. I think especially this year, we're all learning with you also this year. You know, I mean, I think everyone that you're going to be engaging with at JU is figuring out something different this year than it was last year for us, probably. Whether it's just a new way that they were already doing their job, or they're doing a completely new job. You know, there's a wide spectrum of what, you know, everyone's going to be experiencing. So you will not be alone in feeling like you're not entirely sure what's happening. We're going to make it look like we do. But, you know, we're going to be right there with you, kind of, you know, figuring things out. And we're always wanting to make sure that you feel supported. So I would say, you know, what everyone said, ask questions. Don't wait. If you're confused, if you don't know who to talk to about whatever, find someone and ask them, and then you will promise you'll get to the right person. So whether it's one of the four of us, we will direct you if you're not sure exactly who the right person at JU to talk to is. I think, you know, as Sue mentioned, her own office, for me, the minute that you feel in class like you do not know what's happening, like you are a little bit off kilter, you're not sure, you're having a hard time keeping up with the reading, keeping up with the homework, make sure you come, you know, see a tutor, go to your faculty member, email them. I guess we're probably going to try to limit office hours. I don't know. Again, learning, we don't really know. I haven't asked the faculty about it, but they want to be there for you still. We want to be able to answer your questions. So the minute that you start to feel uneasy, that's when you should reach out for help for whatever it is, whether it's for your class, whether it's about paying for school, whether it's about, you know, how much you're eating or working out, whatever it is, whatever might be not normal feeling to you, don't wait. Just reach out to somebody, because we can't help if we don't know that there's a problem or that you're concerned. So that would be my biggest advice, is to just don't suffer in silence. We're here.
That's awesome. And that leads into the question that came into the chat, like, when is a good time to reach out? So maybe, Nancy, talk about how early should they reach out to a librarian to start on research? Or Olga, how early should they reach out to your office for accommodations? Can you each office talk a little bit about how early, what is a good time to reach out?
Yes, as early as possible. Let's put it that way. The earlier, the better, because sometimes the documentation that you think works, may not work, may be outdated, or as is explained in our guidelines, we do work with IEPs and 504s, but that is not the full set of documentation that we need. So just sending that will not do it. So the earlier, the better. I have already been working with families and with students throughout the summer to make sure that their registration is up for the fall term. So if you are interested or have any questions, please reach out. And a little thing I was gonna mention before, and I forgot about, do download the Outlook app. It will be the best thing you do because you will have within your phone, you will have your JU email separate from all your inbox. And it also gives you reminders. So if you have any appointment that is like, we send appointments through the Outlook app. So you will get a reminder of the appointment. And it actually, if you use it for like to set up all the due dates for stuff, you can set it up so that it gives you reminders every week or however it is that you want to do it. But it's actually the best way instead of having to log in every time you're going to look at your email. Sometimes that's important information that needs for you to your review and your answer pretty quickly. And this is the best way to go. If my second would be Skype for Business, since we're doing all, the majority of things are being done electronically at this point, that is a good way to connect with anyone on campus because all you need to do is search their name and you can send them a quick chat. And if they're available, they can set up, talk to you. If not, they can set up an appointment and you can have a face-to-face, through a computer, chat with them. And it's a little bit more personable. And you don't have to deal with Zoom. And, if you have the time or you don't have the time, it's just the easiest way at this point, I believe, for students to connect with anyone on campus. So yes, that's
And
my
I would
part.
say, yes, and I would say for the research part of it, it's never too early to start your research. I would say as soon as you find out you have a research assignment, just start thinking about it, start brainstorming, thinking of what topics you may want to write about. You could even write down 2 or 3 topics and then try searches in the databases to see which topic works best. Librarians can help you find your sources using the databases, and we can help you evaluate your sources to make sure they're credible and reliable. So you want to stay away from Wikipedia, and then some things online are not credible. There are some good things online, but not everything online is credible, so librarians can help you with that. And librarians can help you cite your sources in MLA format or APA or even Chicago style. And most commonly students are using APA, but in some classes, usually in English, they're citing an MLA, or in history, they're citing a Chicago style. So definitely reach out to us and we can help you with that. And with the Book a Librarian link, we usually ask for a 3-day notice, but most of the time we don't get a 3-day notice, and that's fine. Just let us know as soon as you would like to make an appointment, and we will accommodate that as best we can. Of course, we don't usually have librarians available on the weekends, and that's typically why we ask for the 3-day notice. But if you give us a 1 or 2-day notice, as long as someone's available, we will definitely be there for you. And then you can always just walk in with your question. If you have something you need right away, just walk in. Or you can email us at library@ju.edu. There's so many different ways that we can meet with you. And since, a lot of the classes went online last semester, we actually started an online chat service. So even if you want to send us a chat message, we can always help you online through the chat service. So definitely reach out and we'll be glad to help you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So with that, I'm not seeing quite so many questions in the chat at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because that will show some contact information for our presenters if you had any personalized questions that you want to ask. So all of their contact information is listed there. We'll leave that up for a minute or two. But thank you so much to our panelists for joining us today. It was a great conversation, great tips to get started for our first year students. So with that, thank you everyone for joining us today, and we'll hang around for a couple minutes. Mike, I see you have a question. Go ahead and type it in the chat and we will make sure we get it answered for you.
I'll go ahead and take that one.
Perfect. Thanks, Sue.
Thanks for asking, Micah. So the way the process is working for incoming freshmen is that first you get admitted, as you know, then you express to us that you're interested in coming. Then you filled out an academic preference questionnaire. You were asked to do that by admissions. If you haven't filled that out, it's very, very important that you do so. If you have any questions about that, contact admissions and just say, I need to fill out that academic preferences questionnaire. From that, then that will be sent to the registrar, who will use those requests to develop a primary or preliminary schedule. And once that schedule is built, then they will notify us in advising, and we will send you an invitation to make an appointment with us. So if you haven't filled out the APQ, as I call it, academic preference questionnaire, or you haven't been told that your schedule is developed, please just kind of wait before reaching out to us, because we're just processing and working with the registrations and then working with the advising. So hopefully, you know, we're going to be continuing to do that. If you have any questions, you think it's been too long or something, you can send an email to advising@ju.edu. Usually I'm the one who's responding to those, and I can look up your record and see where you stand. You can also look online at if you just go to the JU website and type in advising in the search bar, you'll find our webpage very quickly, and then click on who's my advisor. And you'll be able to see by major who your advisor would be. So we're trying to get you in as soon as possible. And hopefully that whole process that I've outlined won't take more than a week, but certainly follow up with us. So then what we're going to do is we're going to sit with you, review that schedule. You're not locked into it. You can make revisions to it. We'll teach you how to do that. We may help you do it right there and then. So the sooner we can get you in, the better. But that's the first step, is that we're going to get you fill out that questionnaire. Registrar will develop a schedule. They will notify advising, and then we will invite you in.
Awesome, thank you. There's another question on here about how typical is it for classes to fill up when registering?
It's typical. It's, you know, we've got lots of incoming students trying to register all at once. And so, yeah, you may not, your first semester, honestly, the first semester may not be your perfect ideal schedule. And that's okay, that's normal. It's because we've already had our seniors, juniors, sophomore, and freshman students register ahead of you. But don't worry, you've got so much flexibility. You have so many choices that you can work from. We will help you get a schedule. So we want to get you to at least 12 credits, if not 15, and we will help you do that. And it may be a little manipulation. We may have to kind of say, okay, if you wanted history, but history is not available, maybe philosophy is. As long as you're willing to be flexible like that, it will all count towards your degree. Once this first semester is over, and now somebody was asking about the timing, we're going to ask you to come back to us probably once you're settled in the semester, somewhere in September, and start talking about planning for the spring semester. Then you'll have an opportunity to register ahead of the new students. So every semester you get to register a little earlier, and you're going to get more of an ideal schedule. And Micah asked if the advisor would be able to see the schedule. Yes, we can see them. You cannot, and that is purely incentive for you to come in and see us.
So we hope to get you scheduled as soon as you can, Micah. If you have any issues, again, I would recommend advising@ju.edu, that contact information to get in touch with Sue so we can get you on the calendar. Awesome. Okay, well, with no more questions, we're going to go ahead and end this session here. However, if you have further questions, please feel free to reach out to your advisor specifically. All right, thank you, everyone.